And welcome, friends. Today I speak to a wonderful friend from Croatia, the race director. How are you, Igor? Igor, and Igor even explained to me how to say his surname correctly. Dorotic.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I cannot complain. The coronavirus did not affect my life almost one bit. So we are, as you can see, we are currently in my camper van, and I've been living in it for the last almost 3.5 years with my girlfriend. So we've been traveling a lot and staying in some cool places. So when we got back from Spain and Portugal, we were there for the winter time. When we got back, the coronavirus, took over everything, and we just stayed here in this meadow for the last 4 months. So we've been pretty cool. We even created a small event. It's going to take place in September. We created a bike course, and we're going to do a trail race here. So it's just here. The start is going to be from our camper van. It's going to be really cool event. It's going to be small thing. We're not going to do anything, really spectacular. But I think the course is great, and I think it's going to be a nice way to present this area to people, because it's really, not a lot of people come here, and it's a really cool place.
Wow, it sounds amazing. I mean, I can
Yeah.
imagine what a life it is just to travel around and, as we had this discussion, have good time on your hands and preparing your routes and your courses. And then that always makes it to be, a great winner, spectacular. Igor, I think we all know from previous years, and next year will be your third edition of the Croatia race. The images of last year were spectacular, absolutely beautiful. Um, and please, please, please tell us more. Tell us about why must we come and do your race next year? Where are you going to take us, and what do we need to be looking forward to?
So the main thing about Croatia, it's pretty diverse. It's not, we have the mountains, we have the sea, we have the rivers, we have the lakes, we have the beaches, we have a lot of islands. So it's really, really diverse, and I'm trying to use all of that diversity in our races. So we are trying to use the high mountains. They are not really that high as in the Alps or somewhere. So our biggest mountain is less than 2,000 meters in height. But it's a mountainous country, and the islands are beautiful, and they're really close to the seaside. So we can use them we can use islands as a part of the course. So we can go with kayaks to islands and then leave them again. So we can transfer the people and the racers from the mainland to the islands, and use that as a part of the race. I think that Croatia is a perfect blend of, unknown and wild country, as the the Western style of life. So we are not really, you know high class civilization like, England or France and stuff like that, but we are on the edge of, the East and the West, and I think we take the best from the both sides.
Well, it sounds fantastic. Like I said, I think everybody in the world at some point in their life will want to be in sea Croatia and the islands. And tourism on its own has done a fantastic job over the years to showcase the country in a beautiful light. And it's wonderful to have such a beautiful race as part of the World Series. Igor, also, I know for you this year it was fantastic. I think your race was sold out within an hour. So it is fantastic and wonderful. So next year you're going to have a great group of people coming to your event. So for us, it's going to be most probably the spectators at home. Please tell us where will this whole race take place? Where's the HQ, and from where will they start?
So the last 2 years we were in Dalmatia. Dalmatia is a part of Croatia that it's more on the south part of Croatia, and it has a lot of islands. It's a bit different this year. We're taking the race more north, but it's also on the seaside, and we are using the area called Istria. It's a peninsula it's a peninsula in Croatia, and we're using a part of Croatia called Kvarner and Gorski Kotar. So Gorski Kotar is a mountainous area with a lot of ancient forests and wood areas. So it's really wild. And Kvarner is a part of a it's a part where it has 4 islands. So we are. I'm not going to say if we're going to use all 4 islands, but some of the islands are definitely going to be used in the race. And our home island is Lošinj. Lošinj is an island, and people are going to stay there, and it's going to be like a race base. But we are not going to start from there. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And the finish is going to be on the island. So they're going to start from somewhere and they're going to finish on the island. So there are not going to be a lot of transfers, from the finishing area to the hotel. It's going to be actually, the finish area is going to be at the hotel. So it's going to be perfect for them and for us.
Yeah, beautiful. And how far is that from your international airport? Where must teams fly into?
It's about 4 hours drive. It's not very far, but it's a problem because you have to use a ferry, and you have to cross a bridge. So you have to go through 2 islands to get to Lošinj. So it's more complicated than really far away.
So you're getting the teams at the airport. You're getting the teams at the airport and do the transfer.
Yeah, the transfer is including in the price. So we are picking up teams at the airport and taking them back after the race as well.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to this beautiful place. Then we're going to bus them out or transport them out to wherever the start is, and they're going to race back to the hotel. They can go straight back into their beds afterwards and just go and eat and relax. Is that correct?
And drink, I think, because we have a really cool we have a really cool beer sponsor.
Oh, wow.
So they're making it's a really cool brand that supports stuff like that. So they're really keen on getting in, and they have a van with the beer, and they're going to drive there, and they're going to distribute the beer directly from the van. It's going to be really cool. It's like a old timer van, so it's really cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Wonderful support in that. Okay, so now we're at this beautiful place. I can already see it. So you're going to bus us out. Let's pretend I'm going to race. And what are we in for? How many kilometers are we talking about?
So it's approximately 500 kilometers. And it's the thing that we like, and it's like almost, I hope it's became a trademark for our race. We do a lot of sections. Okay. So for the last 2 years we had I think 17 or 18 sections. So I don't really like really long sections. So it's usually maximum 10 hours. I would say that the longest section is about 12 to 15 hours for the slowest teams.
Okay.
And usually it's between 3 and 6 hours for a section.
Fast teams. Okay, and then the 500 Ks, you work it out on how many hours would you predict for the top teams?
So for the last 2 years, I was pretty precise because we do spend a lot of time on the course, and we predicted pretty good, but it's always a gamble because of the weather and stuff like that. But the first year it was 350 kilometers, and the first team did it in 54 hours, I think. And last year it was 500 kilometers, and I think it was 74 hours or something like that.
So you're going to aim for
I expect
70, 80 hours.
I expect what?
You're going to aim for that between 70 and 80 hours for the winning team again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because also if you have 16 or 17 legs, there's quite a significant time in transitions, like changeovers, and that adds up quite a lot as well. Igor, what do you do in your combination with the route, like your percentages of hiking, trekking, kayaking? How do you work it out?
I don't work it out. I create a course, and what it is, it is. So it's not really. Of course, I would like to have the. I would say the perfect ratio would be, I don't know, maybe 70% of the bike, 60% of the bike, or 50% of the bike, 30% of the hiking, and 20% of the rowing. But I really don't care. You know, it has to. I think the most important thing for the race is to have a flow.
Yeah.
If it has a flow, then it's really, it doesn't matter. But if
Well,
you,
and also, like you say, every area is different. Your race from the previous
course,
year, sometimes you just don't have so much water, or whatever. There's so many factors you need to keep in mind when you put the course together. Most important, like you say, it needs to flow. Your logistic needs to work. And eventually it feels right, and your timing should be close by. So that sounds great. On what are the teams kayaking next year?
So for the last 2 years we had rivers and seaside and the sea.
Yeah.
And for the next year we were planning to do a river as well. But it didn't work out because the timing I'm not sure if it's going to be enough water in that river. So for the next year will only be sea, but it's going to be multiple times. So they're going to use the sea as a transfer from the islands and to the islands. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And I guess it's a normal plastic sit on top to kayak to supply the team, same for everybody. And you can also provide them with paddles and life jackets for those who don't have or won't bring in. Okay, great.
We didn't use packrafts because Croatia is. I'm thinking it's not really appropriate for it because we don't have a lot of lakes in the mountains that you can use, and it's all the rivers are pretty much better to do it with the plastic kayaks. There are some rivers that we can use rubber ones, but it's better to just rent them than to make people take the packrafts. And it's maybe in the future if I find some area that it's going to be useful or handy, maybe, but for now I think that Croatia is not good for packrafting.
Every country is different, and that is the wonderful thing about all of this. Igor, are you going to include in your race rope sections? Was there a section you could do it or not?
So when we decided to postpone the race for the next year because of the coronavirus, I did have some plans to do ropes, but now when we postpone the race, we have a 1 year more to think about the course. Maybe we'll do some changes and maybe we'll include it. But for me, the roping sections must have they have to be they have to make sense. I'm not going to do a roping course just for the sake of it. If it's really attractive place, then maybe. But I really want to have you get to the point when you cannot go down and then you have to use the rope. That's makes sense for me. But not to climb up somewhere and then just to go down on the rope on the same place. If it's really attractive place, maybe I will use that concept. But usually I like to do it, just that it makes sense. So in the first year, in the first year, we did do something like that, but it was really cool and attractive. The teams paddled under the bridge, and then 2 team members climbed up, and then they rappelled down to the kayaks. So it was really attractive and cool, but it doesn't make any sense, because they didn't travel anywhere. They just came back to the same place where they started. So in the sense of adventure racing, it's not really making sense, but it was really cool and people liked the racers liked it. So I think it made sense, but I'm trying to avoid stuff like that.
Of course. Yeah, so you've got time, you can go back to your route like you say. see if you want to do some changes, and if it's worth it, include something. I mean, to fit into your flow, as you say, it's very important for you that it should flow and make sense.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds all good. I mean, tell me, how's the maps in Croatia? Do you have good maps?
Yeah, maps are pretty good, and we definitely that's really important for us, and we adjust the maps, and we if the maps need any adjustment, we definitely do it. We erase the roads that are not there when we draw in the roads that are there. So we combine a lot of digital maps and maps that we can find, in the shops. But we produce a pretty good maps in the end, and I think that the racers can be really satisfied with the way we do the maps.
Okay, okay, it sounds wonderful.
We also have a lot of CPs on the course, because Croatia is not really like Patagonia, when you can just put 8 CPs and they can go anywhere. You want to take them to beautiful places. You don't want them to use main roads.
Yes.
You want to take them on a journey, and if you want to take them on a journey, you have to guide them on the course, and that's why I use a lot of CPs. And it's a cool feeling when you find a CP. So if it's a victory, one more CP in our bag. So I like the fact that there are a lot of CPs. Some of the people don't like it, and it's a lot of work for us because we have to put them in the field. But in the end, I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, some people love it, some people don't. I think as a race organizer, it is very difficult to always keep everybody happy. And ultimately you need to, like you say, direct the course so that it works for you, to keep people. You take them on a journey for a reason. You want them to see a specific place or to avoid a specific place. And instead of using the normal old way of bunting, you basically just guide them with the CPs. And it is a lot of work. And of course, after the race as well, to go back and collect all your CPs. But again, and I say it in all the chats I have with everybody, each country is different, each destination is different, and each country every year the route is going to be different. And that is a wonderful thing of adventure racing. It's never really exactly the same. And I think that's what we all love. That's why we do it. Igor, is there anything more wonderful you want to tell me why we should come and do your race? I know next year you are full. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 places at the end left or available. Over and above that, you're a great race organizer and the country is great. Why must we come?
So there are a couple of reasons why I think that Croatia is really good for adventure racing, as I said before. But the weather is also a factor, because it's for the last 2 years we had really great luck with the weather. The weather was almost perfect. Okay. But for this year we changed the dates because of the World Championship in Paraguay. So for the first 3 years we were in the middle of September, and then for this year we switched to middle of May. It was a bit risky because it's the beginning of the summer, and it's maybe the waters are not hot. They're maybe colder than in September. Yeah. But I think the days are longer, and we were hoping that it's going to be it's a move for the best. I don't know if we're going to stay in this part of the year, but for the next year definitely, because we wanted to keep it in the same time frame, because when we postponed the race, we didn't want to just think of some random date. We just wanted, okay, we're going to do it in the same time, but one year ahead. The weather is great, and we had really luck with the weather for the past 2 years. The safety is a great stuff. You feel really safe here. People usually can speak English pretty well, enough to communicate. when you go somewhere really off-road, I guess you're not going to find somebody speaking English if you go in some village, you know, where somebody, you know, haven't even met somebody from different country. But usually people are pretty good in English because we are a touristic country, and English is definitely the most international language.
Yeah.
The one thing that I like about our race is that we really take a lot of time in creating a course, and I'm hoping that people can see that, the racers that came to Croatia can see that. I'm thinking that, you know, if we filled our whole race in less than an hour, so that's definitely a sign of that we're doing something nice, something good. I think that country is not enough to have a really good race. If you can have a really great country but create a really terrible race. I think that we combined, you know, beautiful place with a really well organized race, and that's why we have a really good turnout for the last 2 years and next year as well.
Yeah. No, wonderful. It sounds fantastic. I think just to get back to that point, you said it is still summer when the teams come, so it should going into summer, so the weather should be good. They should be able to do some rope sections if you put it in. You're going to do rafting, trekking. It seems to me absolutely wonderful. I know you've spent a lot of time on the ground. You're going to go back to your roots, so we're very positive about the event, and I think everybody can look really forward to following it online. For those who missed it, must now follow it online and make sure that they are ready to enter for the 2022 version of Croatia. Igor, thank you so much for your time. And before I say goodbye to our friends, I think it's important to share with them as well. You've got a wonderful new concept you've created regarding people that or teams that could go and do some of your old races or some of the old legs. Please share a little bit more of that, you know, with us, so that if there's anybody who would like to travel, or as you mentioned, the whole idea behind it was to get teams or people more confident in doing bigger races, that they could do sections of all your old races, or as I understood it, you know, teams who want to get better and use it as a training sections for future races. Please share with us your new concept.
Yeah, so it's called Relive Adventure Race Croatia. So basically, it's we create a private race for you. So we are recreating the same race as it was in 2018 or 19. You can choose the race you want us to recreate. So basically, you can get a couple of your friends or your team, and you can do the same course. There is no time limit. So if you want to do it in like 10 days, we can do it in 10 days. We'll set up all the transitions like you're in a race. We'll do all the, put all the checkpoints. So you'll definitely do like a race. It's the only difference is there are not a lot of, then there are no more teams except your team. So you are our main focus, and we're going to do everything we can to make your race or your journey as pleasurable as possible. So people can choose to do a 2018 or 2019 course, and we even created a Adventure Race bike tour. So that's we combined two bike all the bike sections from the two races, and we combine them in one long tour, and you can even choose that and do it just with a bike. We can also provide you so you can do it as rough as possible, so you know, like you're racing.
Yeah.
Or you can do it that we can take you to sleep in some apartments or hotels or stuff like that. So you can do it as luxury as possible or as rough as possible. It's up to you, so you can choose it.
That sounds wonderful. You basically custom make it for whatever the team or the person decides to do. Igor, on this sort of package, obviously all the information is on your website, but are there a group limit? You know, do you should it be at least a minimum of 4 people?
So it's a minimum of so we can do it for one guy or one girl, but it's more expensive definitely.
Yeah.
So we have the price for between 4 and 8 people is it's one price, and 3 and less it's a different price. So it's anybody can do it from 1 person to 8 persons a maximum.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I'm sure a lot of our viewers and our friends at home, there's guys who, haven't raced for many years, or somebody maybe would like to do it with their spouses or partners, and just want to come and see the beautiful country. I mean, it's like a adventure holiday, and maybe, as you said, not as much under so much pressure like you're in a racing environment. You can even have the opportunity to go and sleep over in a guest house, or like you said, an apartment for the night, and continue the next day. I mean, it sounds super awesome to me.
And it's it's highly adjustable. If you're in the middle of the course and you say that's a bit too much for us, we want to skip this section, we can skip this 25 kilometers hike, no problem, we can do it. So the benefit of that is that we are there for you, and you are our main focus, so we can adjust anything on the road. So we can skip sections, add sections, decide if you want to sleep somewhere for 2 nights because you're too tired. That's not a problem. It's highly adjustable. So
it's wonderful. It's custom made tours, and like the mountain biking tours and all of those. So you look after the people. They can stop for a bit of a beer, stop for a dinner, and continue just as they want and customize it. It sounds wonderful. You got a great concept, and we really hope.
But on the other hand, really serious teams can also use it as a training. They can race full speed. Will provide all the same transitions, all the same logistics that we did on our race. So if a team wants to go really hard, we can do that as well. Maybe they can even beat the record of the team that was first on the original race. So it's definitely meant for everybody who is really into this sort of adventurous life. You don't have to be a racer. You can do it in your own pace. You can skip the sections. So it's highly adjustable, and that's the really most important thing.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Igor, before I say goodbye to you, I just want to ask you one more thing. If there's any of our friends at home now who listened and they didn't sign up for your race, or they can't do this race, but they would like to volunteer, are you guys open and to assist some international volunteers to come and help you with your race?
Yes, we already have a couple of international volunteers. Of course, all present Jose was here for the last 2 editions, and he's signed up for the next year. So he's been a big help for us, and a big positive impact on the group with his experience and really cool presence. So we're really looking forward to seeing him again. We have a couple of volunteers from France as well, so we are definitely open for it. So if anybody's interested, we also have a new website. It's called remarkable.events. So all our races that we do, we basically put them under one umbrella. It's called Remarkable Events, and you can find all the information there about our adventure race, our trail race, our bike races, and the Relive Adventure Race Croatia, the concept that we're talking about.
Well, Igor, it sounds remarkable to me. So thank you for all the services you're offering. And from our World Series side, we can only wish you all the best for 2021 and onwards. And with all your plans and future dreams. So thank you for our time. And to our friends at home, as you can truly see that Croatia is another wonderful destination. And truly, we have so much to offer to you guys for the 2021 and onward season. So support Igor, even if you're not at the race, follow the live tracking. And yes, let's grow adventure racing and keeping the dream alive of this lifestyle. Thanks, Igor. All the best.
Yeah, thank you too, and good luck with your race. And I hope that all of this will soon go away, and we'll continue with our lives, maybe in a more normal way, because we created this. It's our fault. So I think that maybe if we think about it, we can change something to the positive.
For the future. Thank you, Igor. All the best.
You too. Bye.
Bye.